Do you know what the weirdest thing about football is? Sometimes the player with the best skills on the pitch is not the one who keeps the ball the most. In fact, if you watch enough football, you'll notice something strange. There's always that one player who doesn't even look particularly flashy, doesn't do 10 step-overs every possession, doesn't sprint at defenders every time he touches the ball, but somehow he never loses it. You can pass him the ball while he has a defender on his back, another one closing from the side, and somehow he still finds a way to keep possession, escape, or at least create enough time for his team to reset. And the crazy thing is that coaches love these players, not because they score the most goals or because they go viral on social media. Coaches love them because they create stability. Teammates trust them because they know if they pass them the ball, there's a high chance they're getting it back. That trust changes everything. You receive more passes, you get more involved, and suddenly the game starts flowing through you.
But now let me ask you something. How many times have you received the ball and already decided in your head that you were about to lose it? Think about it carefully. You receive the pass, you hear footsteps behind you, and before the defender even touches you, your body becomes tense, your touch becomes heavy, your eyes go down, and suddenly you either pass backwards instantly or lose the ball completely. Most players think this happens because they lack dribbling ability. That's usually not true. The truth is much more frustrating. Most players lose the ball before pressure even arrives, because football pressure starts in your head first. Look at players who are elite under pressure. Watch players like Iniesta, Verratti, or even old clips of Hazard receiving under pressure. They weren't physically dominating defenders. They simply looked like they had more time than everyone else. But they didn't actually have more time. They created it, and they created it before touching the ball. This is something I think most players completely misunderstand about ball retention. They think keeping possession starts when the ball arrives at your feet. In reality, keeping possession starts several seconds before that. Your body position, your scanning, your awareness, your preparation, all of that happens before your first touch. Imagine two players receiving the exact same pass. Player 1 only starts thinking after receiving. Player 2 already checked both shoulders before the ball arrived, noticed pressure, identified space, and planned his next move. To everyone watching, it looks like player 2 is naturally calmer. But what actually happened is simple. One player reacted, the other player prepared. That's why scanning is probably the most underrated skill if you lose the ball often. And when I say scanning, I don't mean turning your head dramatically every 2 seconds because some football page told you to. Scanning means collecting information. Before receiving, ask yourself simple questions. Where's pressure coming from? Can I turn? Can I bounce this pass? Can I attack space? Who is my safe option? If you start doing this consistently, something strange starts happening. You stop feeling rushed because your brain already solved the problem before your feet touched the ball. Now let's move to another thing that completely changed how I think about football: your first touch. Most people are taught that first touch means controlling the ball, but that's incomplete. Your first touch should solve a problem. If pressure is behind you, move away. If the defender overcommitted, move into the free space. If there's room to attack, push forward. Elite players rarely receive the ball just to stop it. They receive the ball to reposition it. Go watch clips of Messi receiving passes. His first touch often already becomes the beginning of his dribble, his escape, or his next pass. That's why defenders always look late, because while they're reacting to the touch, Messi already moved into the next action. You can train this too. Stand near a wall and stop receiving every ball the same way. Receive inside, outside, forward, turn. Create random situations, because in matches, nobody sends perfect passes every time. You need to become comfortable controlling uncomfortable balls.
Now here's something nobody talks about enough. Sometimes the reason you lose the ball isn't because your control is bad, it's because your relationship with the ball is bad. You treat the ball like an object. Top players treat it like an extension of their body. That sounds dramatic, but think about it. When beginners dribble, it looks like they're chasing the ball. When elite players dribble, the ball looks attached to them. That feeling doesn't come from skills, it comes from touches, thousands and thousands of touches. That's why I actually think small space football develops retention better than most isolated drills. Play smaller games, play in tighter spaces, force yourself into uncomfortable situations, because football doesn't give you 10 seconds to decide. It gives you moments, and moments reward instinct. This also connects to something most players ignore completely: body position. Watch players who are difficult to dispossess. They rarely stand square. They open their body. They lower their center of gravity. They create angles. When defenders press them, they don't try to fight strength with strength. They use positioning. Look at Busquets. Half the time it doesn't even look like he's doing anything, but his body is constantly protecting options. And this is a huge difference. Most players protect the ball. Elite players protect possibilities. If you only protect the ball, eventually you get trapped. If you protect your passing lanes, your turning angles, your exits, defenders become much easier to manipulate.
Now let's talk about a mistake I see all the time. Players become obsessed with not losing possession. And ironically, that makes them lose possession more because they stop trying, they stop turning, they stop taking initiative. Everything becomes safe. Safe pass, safe touch, safe decision. And eventually, they disappear from the game. But football doesn't reward invisibility. Look at creative players. They lose possession. Messi loses the ball. Neymar loses the ball. Yamal loses the ball. Every dangerous player loses possession. But there's a difference. They lose possession trying to create something, not because they panicked. That mindset shift matters. Don't become careless, become intelligent. If you lose the ball trying to break lines in the final third, that's football. If you lose the ball because you got scared and kicked it away, that's different. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is controlled bravery. So from now on, stop asking yourself one question: how do I stop losing the ball? Instead ask, how do I make losing the ball less likely while still creating danger? That question changes everything, because suddenly you start focusing on scanning, first touch, positioning, decision-making, and confidence, instead of blaming your dribbling. So the next time you play, don't count goals, don't count assists. Count how many times you received under pressure and stayed calm. Count how many times your first touch created space. Count how many times you scanned before receiving, because those tiny moments are usually what separate players who control matches from players who disappear inside them. And remember something, the players who look calm on the ball usually weren't born that way. They just spent enough time under pressure that eventually pressure stopped feeling unfamiliar. So stop avoiding difficult situations in training, start looking for them. Because the player who becomes comfortable inside chaos becomes the player everyone trusts with the ball.
That's pretty much it. Now you know how to not lose the ball even under pressure. Like and subscribe to False 10. And if you want to watch even better videos, click the videos on your screen right now. And I'll see you in the next one.